I made a beautiful leather tote bag. I am Christine. I was contacted by Babylon Leather. They asked me if they could gift me with a bag making kit. I could choose any on their site in exchange for an honest review. I said yes, please. I had a tote bag that needed replacing, so their timing was impeccable. I needed a new tote bag, and I knew I wanted to have one that was better quality than the one I replaced. I had a vinyl pleather tote bag that did not wear very well. It was peeling, it looked really bad. I needed to toss it. My Mama Lou would have called it disreputable. It did not look nice. I'm going to show you what comes with the kit, how the making went, and how happy I am with my finished product. I'm going to have some timestamps below, so if you want to jump around, you can. So let's talk first about what comes with the kit. Okay, I unwrapped this off camera to avoid some of the rustling. Let me show you everything that comes in the package. This is the shipping list. It is not a complete packing list. You have a list of the 2 free items, or 3 free items. This is a leather sewing tool for positioning pins. I think that's going to come in handy. There are 6 of them. Silk scarves. This is what I received. It's a really good color for me. I wear those colors, so I think that will come in handy. The finished pony pendant purse charm. This is what it looks like. This is not something that I would hang on a bag. I'm not a big one for purse charms, so I think this will be gifted to one of the little people in my life. And then this is all the things that go toward making up the bag, but it's not a list. You have to go to the video tutorial. I've already done a sneak peek so that I could tell you about that. I scanned this QR code with my phone. If you don't have a smartphone, they give you the address where you could go to it on your computer to find the tutorials. The tutorial looks like it's going to be very easy to follow, very clear. Brochure, again a QR code, and another one here. Various ways to contact Babylon Leather, all the socials. For the hardware, I'm not sure what these are. I'll have to watch the video. I'm guessing this is all related with the straps. It has 2 handles, short handles and long handles. So both are sets of 2s. So that's what I think those are. In this bag, we have some purse feet. These are little protectors that you put on the purse feet while you're working on the bag, and some finger cots. I guess that's to help with not getting sore fingers while you're pulling the thread through. Here's a pair of thread snips. This is some waxed thread. And they do say they give you more. There's a gracious plenty, so more than you're going to need. There's a little Phillips head screwdriver for the purse feet and a binder clip. This will be used to help hold things in place. So let's take a look at the leather. Now when I opened this up, everything was protected well. So I have all my straps. These are the sides of the bags, and you can tell what is the front and what is the back or the inside of the bag. It has a pebbled texture, and that's going to be the outer facing view. And also you will notice that the pinholes, let me see if I hold it to the light, if you can see that. It's not showing as much on camera, but it's very clear in person that the holes are punched all the way through, so the thread should go through this very well. This is the bottom of the bag. This won't show at all, so that's what's going to be on the inside of the bag. We have the inner pocket. This is the perfect size for my cell phone. And the front and back panels of the bag. Most of the construction of this bag was smooth sailing. I did have a couple of areas where I needed to pay a little more attention. I want to talk about those with you. The first was when I was sewing the bottom panel that's inside the bag. This is the side, and then you stitch the bottom panel down to form the bottom, give a little more rigid structure. And I found that this was a little more difficult to get the needle through all of the holes and pull it through. I had something in my sewing room already that helped me with that, and that was a pair of hemostats. They can lock onto the needle. You have to kind of open them up, and they click and lock into place. And then pulling the needle through was just that much easier. Not necessary, but it sure did make the job easier. And I finally got to use those hemostats that I purchased years ago, and they were just sitting in my sewing room. I almost got rid of them, and I'm glad I did not. The other area that was a little bit tricky, or not really tricky, but you needed to pay more attention to the quality of your stitching, is when you're attaching the side panels. I found that when I was moving from this edge around, that it was a little bit, I thought, messy looking. It's inside the bag. You can't see it. I was a little bit worried over it for nothing. I did have some messy stitching at first when I was stitching down here, where I told you it was a little difficult. I found that I was pulling my needle through a piece of thread or one of my stitches, splitting the stitches, and it wasn't looking so nice. And I would just pull the threads out, start over again. At one point I was wondering, am I going to run out of thread? Now, everybody had said that they give you a gracious plenty amount of thread. And even with doing maybe one of these sides twice, I had this much left over, so I could have had plenty of do-overs and still had enough thread to finish the project. The other area where you need to pay attention is when you're attaching this zipper panel. I had said that the video instructions were great. They were great for everything except when it came to attaching this. I felt like they could have done a better job showing the other side. The first side you install, where there's a pocket, it was very clear what gets sewn to what. So here's my pocket side. You're stitching this inside out, and you're stitching it before you put on the side panels. This went smooth sailing. All of the holes are where they're supposed to be. But when it came to attaching the other side, I did it wrong. I had it going in the wrong direction. Now, had I thought things through a little bit, I would have been okay. I would have thought about how is this supposed to look when I turn it right side out. And I could have just done a flip and check, and I would have realized that I was not sewing this so that it would be recessed. You would have seen a little edge right here because I just sewed it wrong sides together instead of right side to wrong side on this side. And I wouldn't have had any issues. I did unpick and restitch it. It only added a few minutes to the project, and I am so happy with the result. I really can't believe that I sewed this. Now, I don't think the designer handbag companies are going to be coming looking for me to do their top stitching, but I am really happy with how this came out. I'm going to give you a closer look in just a moment. Babylon Leather did give me an affiliate discount code for an extra 10% off that you can stack onto their first-time buyers code for a deep discount on your bag kit. Use the code Christine Sews a Lot, and if you do, I thank you. So let's have a good close-up look at the tote bag. I've got my two short handles, my long handle. I think it's a great size. It's about 12 inches tall. I like that it has a zipper closure. My previous tote bag did not have that, and I think it really turned out well. I love this gold finish, the little extra detail of this metal tab. The handles are secured with these gold accent pieces. And then the purse feet on the bottom are also the same gold. I was so worried about this stitching when I made the bag, and now I look at it and I have a lot more grace with myself. I was so afraid that that would just ruin the effect of the whole bag. Silly me. So let's take a look inside. I'll unzip the top and open it up. This is the pocket. You can see where I sewed it onto the bag here. And this is what it looks like on the outside. I had thought that it was not quite as secure as I would like. I want this bag to last, so I did go over and stitch these sections, this little bit where the pocket is secured on each end. I was a little disappointed in my stitching here, but I don't think unless you crank it up and look really close at it like this, I don't think anybody's going to notice that. There's a lot of space in here. I attended a wedding recently, and I noticed that some women had a scarf wrapped around the handle, all the way around both handles, and I thought it looked really nice. I could do that with the 2 silk scarves that were included. Most likely I will probably just use it as is because I like plain and simple. I'm really going to be enjoying this bag, and I do give it 2 thumbs up. Thank you to Babylon Leather for gifting me with this bag kit. I do recommend it. I enjoyed sewing it more than I thought I would. I just worked on it a little bit in the evenings as I had time, and it was great to have a project that you can just pick up whenever you have a few minutes and know exactly what to do next. Thank you in advance if you do use my discount code. Again, it's Christine Sews a Lot for an extra 10% off, and I do earn a small commission.